In August and September 1972, entertainer Hugo Zacchini performed a human cannonball act in which he was shot from a cannon into a net some 200 feet away on a regular basis at the Geauga County Fair in Bilton, Ohio. A freelance reporter for Scripps Howard Broadcasting Company recorded the performance in its entirety without consent, and it was aired on the nightly news. Zacchini sued Scripps Howard Broadcasting Company, claiming the newspaper showed and commercialized the film of his act without his consent.
The case was first tried by the Ohio State Court, which deemed Scripps Howard Broadcasting Company constitutionally privileged to include such content in its newscast as it can be considered a matter of public interest. Zacchini appealed this decision in the Ohio Court of Appeals. The Ohio Court of Appeals reversed the state court's decision on the grounds that Zacchini had a cause of action for infringement. The Ohio Supreme Court later reversed the decision of the Court of Appeals, sending it to the United States Supreme Court. The case was first argued in the Supreme Court on April 25, 1977. The Supreme Court decided on June 28, 1977, that Scripps Howard constitutionally privileged free speech did not extend to broadcasting Zacchini's entire performance without his permission, reversing Ohio's initial decision.
The questions of law presented by Zacchini v. Scripps Howard Broadcasting Company were the following. Do the First and 14th Amendments keep the Scripps Howard Broadcasting Company safe from damages for violating Zacchini's right to privacy by recording and airing his performance without his consent? Do broadcasting companies have a right to be exempt from state law right to privacy if the performance is of public concern or has news value?
After deliberation, the Supreme Court determined that the broadcasting of Zacchini's entire performance was not protected by the First and 14th Amendments. This decision was made on the grounds that Zacchini sought to benefit financially from his unique act, similarly to how artists and writers copyright the tangible work they produce to protect it from unauthorized reproduction.
Zacchini v. Scripps Howard Broadcasting Company established that the First and 14th Amendments do not immunize the media when they broadcast a performer's entire act without his or her consent. Of most importance, this case determined that the broadcast of an entire event differs from reporting on an event, as it poses a threat to the economic value of the performance.
The 5-4 decision set an important precedent limiting what a news organization could broadcast on air. If the decision had ultimately protected the actions of Scripps Howard Broadcasting Company, entertainers would be less inclined to perform, as news broadcasts that showed their acts in full would allow for free public viewing and less incentive for performers.